Welcome to the fiction screening of the LJMU MA Short Film Festival. Thank you all for making the journey to join us here tonight. We've got a lot of amazing films to show you. My name's Josh, I'm one of the fiction programmers.
Hello everyone, my name is Jake. I was also one of the fiction programmers, and I would say that out of the entire festival, we had the most entries per strand, which made our job extremely difficult in whittling down the many films that we had into the 6 that you are going to experience this evening.
Yeah, in fact, out of the almost 3,000 submissions, a third of them were all fiction films, so we've had a lot to get through. And all of these films were different genres, different themes, and obviously everyone has different tastes. So there were 4 of us fiction programmers, and the amount of discussions and not conflict, but like conflicting opinions of what film should be put into the festival was massive. So, but the one thing that we all agree upon is that we've given you the best of the best, the top 6 films to watch tonight.
Yeah, and it's from all over the world, from Argentina, Germany, India, Poland, Spain, and Venezuela.
All of the films that you're going to see tonight all have a range of different themes, from things like grief and loss to newfound love, facing the past, the importance of family. Some of them will make you laugh, others will make you cry, but all of them will have you on the edge of your seats.
Yes, absolutely. And there's a thing that you guys can do. So we have the audience award, and at the end of all of the films, there's going to be a QR code that pops up on the screen there. So if you really liked it, you can take your phone out and scan the QR code, which will take you to our website. If you really like the film, you can click on the thumbs up, but your vote is not just limited to the one film or the strand. So if you say you really enjoy some experimental or documentary, you can also like them as well. And the audience award is going to be announced on Friday at Scale.
Yeah, so our annual award ceremony will take place this Friday night at Scale. Everyone's invited. You can get tickets on the LJMU Short Film Festival website. And it's basically just a great opportunity to come along, speak to people, get a few drinks, and watch the winning films from each strand. So you'll see the winner of the fiction, documentary, animation, experimental, and the Audience Choice Award. So we hope to see all of you there.
Yes, also one more thing. We have a challenge fresh for the 2025 iteration of the festival, which involves letterboxd reviews. So if you've got a letterboxd account and you enjoy reviewing films, just log at least 10 of any of the films across our festival, and they have to be a minimum of 50 words, and then you will be entered into a chance of winning a £50 Amazon gift card.
And with that, I think it's time for us to start the screening.
Absolutely, but please be warned, viewers, that the film Cherry on Top does contain themes which may be distressing and potentially triggering for some audience members. There is more information in your program. Enjoy. Yes. I think they're going to do it. Are we getting unmuted? Hello. So welcome back. Obviously, we've just seen those cracking films, and we are joined, as you can see on the screen behind us, all of the or some of the directors. Sorry. So let's kick off the Q&A.
Okay, great. First of all, I'd like to thank all the filmmakers for being with us tonight and answering all of our questions. We've all watched your amazing films, and we've got a lot of questions that we'd like to know the answers to. So before we start, would it be okay if we just went around and if you introduced yourselves? So just your name, where you're from, and what film you made that's in the festival. So if we start with Ivan.
Hi, I don't know if you listen to me properly.
Yeah, we
Yes,
can
you
hear
listen
you
to me?
perfectly.
Okay, perfect. First of all, I want to say that I'm sorry for my English because I haven't spoken in English for a while. So that's the first thing I want to say. My name is Ivan. I'm from Madrid, Spain, and I'm the director of Now and Then, de tanto usarlo in Spanish, and that's kind of it.
Okay, that's great. Thank you. Okay, if we now move on to Michael.
Hello, I'm Miquel Garrido. I'm from Barcelona, close to Ivan. My film is we have Homeland, but I'm from Venezuela, and my short film was placed in Venezuela also.
Okay, amazing. Can we now move on to Nandi, please?
Hi, my name is Nandi, as you said, and I'm from Germany, and I made the film Cherry on Top.
Awesome. And finally, Eva, please.
I'm Eva Japola, I'm from Poland, and I'm a director and screenwriter of the film Count My Love.
Okay, that's great. Thank you all so much for introducing yourselves. Okay, is it okay if we start with Ivan for Now and Then? First of all, we just wanted to ask, what were the main influences for your film?
I don't know. I've been asked this question before, and every time I say a different thing because when I started working on the short film, I just knew that I wanted to work with a couple of friends of mine that were Carlos and Carlota, that they were like a couple at the time. So I knew I wanted to work with them. They are not anymore, but it's not my fault. They were while shooting the short film. And I knew that I was only able to shoot on a couple days, so that was kind of the point to work around. And I don't know, I'm really attracted to romantic stories, and I don't know. I was having kind of a rush pad because personal situation, so that kind of make it a starting point also. But my influences were like the Before trilogy, and there is a short a Spanish TV series that is called The Time That I Gave You, and each episode follows like the before part and the after part, and each episode like the duration evolve around like the process of being over someone. So yeah, that kind of it.
Okay, that's great. That was one of the parts of your film that was actually made it more engaging. The fact that it was non-linear, that it was taking place in two different timelines, and that definitely added to the comedic element of it. I know here, just watching it in the lecture theatre, the amount of times people just started laughing when it switched between past and present was a lot. So I just wanted to ask, what was it like making the film like in a non-linear sense? Like, did you always plan to have it that way, or was it difficult to film?
Really, it was really fun to do it because, well, in the original plans, like it didn't change a lot. from the screen, like from the script to screen. But the one thing that changed the most, it was that originally it was planned to be all the short film with split screen. I don't know if I'd say it properly, but it was really, really hard to follow because it was a lot of things happening at the same time. So we had to like simplify it a lot. Um, but I would say that yeah, it was all planned. I I made it thinking about the after part, and then with the actors we made some improv scenes of the before situations with some like personal things, or let's try this but this happened, like for example you're having a relation but your nose starts to bleed, so what's that like, and then like working around the actors with the script.
So just following on from that point a little bit, there is a little moment at the start of the film where both the past and the present are happening at the same time via the split screen. And what do you think about the idea that everything that's being said at the early parts of the relationship when they're falling in love and all that is almost answering the questions that are being asked in the later stages of their relationship?
I think that's kind like, how to say it, I think that that's something that happened when you like think back of things, not in the moment. Like you normally you say something and you just like remember something that you said before. So it was like kind of thinking of the short film, the story, that you are like looking back all the time. Because I don't know, in my personal situation, my personal experience, sometimes you remember things in the moment that you wish you didn't remember them, and that's kind of the feeling that they are like remember the best moments of the relationship in the worst, and that hurts a lot. So that's kind of the intention.
Okay, great, and that really does come across in the film as well. There's one question that I just have to ask: is what do you think happens at the end? Do you think Sophia stays, or do you think she leaves?
Uh, and my answer has changed a lot. Um, I want her to leave right now because I think that uh, in one festival they asked me with the actors if I believed that love ends, and they were no longer together. So it was a difficult moment. But I want to answer the same thing that I did, even though I don't like no longer think that way. But I want to be a romantic. So I want to say that like love doesn't end, like it changed. So I think that they still care for each other, but I don't think that they necessarily are gonna be able to fix everything and make things work perfectly, because life doesn't work this way. But yeah, she stays.
Okay, thank you. So we're now going to ask Mikkel a few questions, if that's all right. So, I have to write this one down. It's quite a big one. In your director's statement, you talk about darkness quite a lot from your own personal experiences, and it's seen quite a lot within the film because it's a blackout, so of course it is. And I think also it can be seen in your director's statement how it has shaped the film, and also the morality of the characters is also pretty interesting. Just wanted to ask if you'd be able to explain why Carlos was morally grey and if that was an essential part of the film for you.
Yeah. I cannot tell you right now the whole director's statement right now, but for the audience, it was related to Carlos, to the people, to the darkness, and how from the darkness sometimes interesting things can happen, or you can see things that you cannot see at light, at like in a normal situation. And for me, when I came to Spain, because I was living in Venezuela, so many people told me try to understand why I choose to leave the country, and how was the situation and how was the life there. So I didn't find a way to explain, because it's really complicated, and even in the film it's not like completely the whole things that happens there. But I find in that situation a clear image of several situation things, stories that happened that in that days, that I could merge them to kind of get into a glimpse of what is, how is to be there, how is to deal with the system problems that occurs there. So I saw that situation in 2019 when the blackout happened, and I get the inspiration from there. But what I tried to say with the morality of Carlos and the gray area of his morality is because sometimes in Venezuela you have to do things that are not morality okay with in other like places, for example. That happened to me also in some things, like sometimes you need to do stuff that maybe here in Spain are not pretty well see it, you know, like the people won't tell you like that's okay. But I wanted to talk about that and trying to make the audience connect with that situation, because I think everybody in that situation will do the same. I wanted to appeal to that and to make the audience understand that other reality that is in the world. And yeah, that's what I'm trying to do with the statement, with the short film, and try to empathize with that. And I'm not like justifying that happens, and trying to show what it happens, why it's that happening. So in a glimpse of that, it's a suggestion. It's not like clearly I show you why is that happening, but I try to suggest to you what is that happening.
Okay, that's great. Because I know I was speaking to Jake before, earlier on in the day, just about the character and about how a lot of the films that we watched at the start of this process of starting the festival, a lot of the characters were either good or bad. And the way that we kind of viewed your character is that he's just a father who, although he doesn't do the right thing, he does it for the right reasons, and he's trying to do what he can to kind of, you know, in a desperate situation, which we just find really interesting and different to a lot of the other films that we had to kind of like watch and sit through, which is really interesting. But that kind of like leads into my next question as well. So one thing that your film does really well is it builds up the tension and the suspense throughout. And given that this is a short film festival and the films are 20 minutes or shorter, did you face any challenges or things that you found really difficult when trying to create that suspense and tension within your film?
Well, from the script, I could saw it, because when I tried to make someone read the script, at the same time I was like telling them what is happening in the story. So every time I started to tell the story to someone, that person was like, and what happens then, and how he will resolve that. And every time the people want to know more about the story, and I like clearly see from the script that it was a story about tension, and some reference in the cinema and in the short film as well, where like Rodrigo Sorogoyen and other filmmakers in Spain. Maybe Ivan know him, but he has a movie that is called The Kingdom or something like that, The Realm, or something like that. And I get inspired in him, also in other filmmakers that treat really well the thriller or the tension. Like I cannot get his name, but well, don't worry. I know the name of the movie in Spanish, but I cannot remember in English. Amores Perros, de Iñárritu, but I don't know the name, the translation in English, but yeah.
So, in keeping with about the tension within the film, there's the ending is quite clear cut because he obviously gets the generator and everything, but what happens afterwards? Does his child survive? Did he get the incubator charged, like powered up in time, or did he miss the deadline, unfortunately?
For me, it's not that important because the story tried to speak about something that is happening right now, and what will happen in the story next is what will happen in the story of Venezuela next too. So we will not know what happened. Is that because at the end of the film we have this breath, a broken breath of the baby, and I wanted to try to give you a open close about what will happen, and that's the hope of the people for try to know if they will get a better life in the future there. So for me, it's not that important what would happen. It's the same as the country right now. We will know what will happen. So I wanted to raise awareness about that also with the film.
Okay, that's amazing. Thank you so much. Okay, we'll move on now to Nandi for Cherry on Top, if that's all right. First of all, just one of the first questions we've got is, the main character in your film breaks the fourth wall a lot and speaks to the audience, and I just wanted to ask why you decided to do that within your film.
At the beginning, it was kind of like I don't know, we had no other solution how we get the informations across. So at the beginning, it was kind of like we tried that situation, but when we kept working on it, I kind of liked it even more every time when I thought about it, because I felt like with her saying that, she kind of gives herself more power because she seems thinking more about it and she takes kind of her power back. And it also underlines what is really important to me about the aftermath of a sexual abuse, that people keep thinking about it. And I know a lot of people who had a sexual abuse and they went to therapy, they did literally everything, and you kind of get like, you have thought everything through. You know all the right answers, but that doesn't help you that you can kind of let it go. And for her to keep repeating the questions where she already has kind of the answers because she don't want to really hear them or see them is something I found really interesting. And I also like that it keeps asking the question to the audience so they can ask the question themselves, what's right and what's wrong, in a way.
Amazing. So from watching the film, there's obviously, it's quite a dark subject matter, I would say. And but I noticed that in contrast to the tonal and thematic darkness of the film, Mara's outfits are often quite flashy and colourful. Was there any significance to this, or was it just an interesting outfit choice?
No, I think when I start working on films, I often start with what a character thinks he wants and what he actually needs. And I think for Mara, it was that she thinks she wants control. She thinks she wants to take, like, punish him or something, but she really needs, like, in her heart is to let go and to have romance herself and love. So I kind of wanted to show this rom-com-y thing, which is actually what she desires. And like the cinematography, we have like a lot of poppy colors and in her outfits and in the pop music choices also. So I wanted to have this rom-com-y thing which she kind of desires, and then the thing she actually deals with. And I do love the ambivalence between it. So I think I liked that it shows how she has those 2 points in herself. I don't know. Yeah.
Okay, great. There's one question that I just had in my head while I was watching that film. There's a lot of things that the main character went to do and then didn't kind of follow through with, or something stopped her from doing it, if that makes sense. And the end of the film felt very kind of like open-ended for me. Like I wasn't really sure what was going to happen next. And obviously it was just that tense scene with her looking at him through the window on the phone with him. I just wanted to know, do you have any idea what comes next in the story? What happens to the character?
I think I often, if I'm asked that question, I like to keep it open, because I think it also what you think of the character is what you think keeps coming next. Some people think that she is gonna stay there and be revengeful. Some people think she's gonna starting to let go. For me, it was because the dog left the cage and he had the problem leaving the cage. It's for her something, I think, being seen and being seen with her problem from him is kind of giving her power back. And I think she needed to be seen. I think she had this fear of being forgotten by him. And also she also gives power back, because now that she shows him what her spot is, it's not secret anymore. So she also loses power. So I thought it's interesting that she gets power and loses power. But for me, I think she will have a long process, but it's a good start feeling seen. And I think she goes into the right direction, but it's a long process still to come. Yeah.
Amazing. So just before we go on to Ava with your questions, I just wanted to say that in our festival, we obviously have the Strand Awards, and we also have an audience award, which is voted on through the website, and all of the films are on the website. So if you want to try and nab the award, it's always good to check it out. Just click the thumbs up, send it to everyone, and yeah. Okay, plug.
Yeah,
over.
thank you.
Okay, cool. Is it okay if we move on to Count My Love with Ava? One of the questions that I had for you was just how did it kind of happen to kind of like make sure that there was chemistry between the two main characters? So did you do any kind of like rehearsals? Did you do a lot of casting process? Anything along those lines? Because the chemistry between the two characters was really strong.
Thank you. It's very nice to hear that. I was just lucky, I guess, because I wasn't experienced then, and it was a short process of casting. Like for now, I would do much more rehearsals, and for then, yeah, it was just I found this girl in another movie made in our school. And the boy, I just saw one video with him. I asked him to like shoot a video a video with like him explaining his first love, and it was so funny and adorable, and and then I thought that's him. Yeah, and I guess they are very much different, but somehow it can connect them on the. On the screen.
Amazing. So I think the repetition of the numbers is a really interesting thing, and I quite liked her love of even numbers, but her flat out dismissal of anything odd. And I noticed towards the end when she did the equation and it came to 0, and when there was a shot of her crying, and just above her there was the number 77. Was that of any significance, or just a very or just coincidental that it happened to be there during this moment?
It was just her lucky number, I guess, and maybe the influence was from my cinematographer, because in her real life she really likes this number, so it was her idea to be this exact number. But from the beginning I knew that in her room there must be a lot of numbers everywhere, and somehow this number, it's always with making movies that in the beginning you don't know that at the end something will be very significant, and maybe sometimes you're lucky with that. So here sometimes people say that the 77, it looks just like this, I don't know the word, I have to check it. Like the death in the paintings, it always has the scythe, yeah, something like that.
Okay, great. Just one question that I have is that Sarah is quite different to the stereotypical lead that you'd usually get in a romance film. And I just wanted to ask why you think it was important to kind of like showcase that type of character in your film.
Like I always want, when creating characters, I always want to go as deep as I can with them, and to show all their world. And for me, she was very interesting and very strong, and also it's this character is very important for me because it speaks about our times in which I feel that we are scared of reality and going out and everything around, and everybody is looking for some for his own way to deal with it. And for her, it's numbers, but for someone else, it's something different, and that's just the mechanism.
So there's the shot in the aquarium, and so as postgrad students, we watched it and we're thinking it looks really cool and it must have been really fun. But this is. But would you be able to talk about the way you were able to get the permission to film in the aquarium?
Yeah, so it's really new aquarium in my town in Lodz, and it's super fancy. It's one of the best zoos in Poland. So it was very difficult. And the first time we went there, they said it's impossible. Like they say that they need such amount of money we couldn't afford never, and because there are big productions there and everything. But I was just so stubborn with it and with my producer, and I even told them that maybe I can somehow work in the zoo during the summer to get this location. And suddenly they agree, and it was not so expensive that we couldn't do it. They just told us not to say to anyone about this because they didn't want to have thousands of students next year.
Oh, that is amazing. Oh, just one more question because I've asked everyone else on the call. What do you think happens at the end of your film? Like, what happens afterwards?
Yeah, I think I would like to make it with happy end. So for me, she's going to him, but the only thing is the numbers. There's one shot with numbers moving after them. So she's going by the train to him, but numbers are going after her. So for me, it means that there's a long way for them to figure it out and to get rid of these numbers, or maybe to make them their friends.
Okay, we're now gonna open up the questions to the audience. So just whack your hand up, and we'll come around with the microphones.
Is that what? Yeah. So it's a question for everyone. I was just curious, what sort of cameras and equipment you use to make your films? Oh, I'm a film student.
Yes, so Ivan, could you please start with...
Hi, I don't know. In my case, we use it was a school project, like my last year of film school. So the camera we used is not like a really big film school. So it was an Arri, but it has like 15 years. It only films in HD. Um, and the film equipment, we did kind of a trick because my cinematographer was also working on a rental, so he picked some things without saying anything. But yeah, we only use the camera and and a couple of lights because we focus mostly on practical lights. But the big problem was pretending to film at night because we were only allowed to film during the day. So we had to how do you say it in English? Like to glue a light on the ceiling. But the problem is that this was like the bedroom of our script, so we weren't able to do anything in order to destroy her home. But it was all okay.
Okay, great. And Michael?
Yeah, you're lucky because I studied for director of photography in my school, so I clearly know how we did the film. We shot with a Arri Alexa, and we paired the Alexa with some size super speed 1.3 of aperture, and that's the camera package. And the lighting package was kind of different things, things that we build for the film, things that we have to rent, and things that the school give us. to make the film, but we had everything, everything in the every technology, LED, HMI, tungsten. It wasn't the newest materials because it's a film school, but we made it with that, and we're very proud of how it's look and how it's represent the dark.
Amazing. Nandi, would you be able to tell us yours?
Yeah, you're not lucky with asking me that question because I have an amazing cinematographer and I don't know that much stuff about it. But I just asked him, and he shot on the Ari Amira Super 16 mode. And yeah, and we did afterwards in the grading, we did the whole style to look like the analog kind of thing, but we shot normally. And lights, we used normal lights, but we worked a lot with those color filters in a lot of scenes, like with the pinkish ones, and then we blocked the colors in a way. But that's honestly all I know.
Okay, amazing. And Ava?
Yeah, I think it was the camera was Sony FS7, and the rest of the equipment I don't know exactly, but it was quite easy and simple. Yeah.
Okay, great. Do we have any other questions?
There we are. Hello, everyone. And I know, like, as student filmmakers, there's always like a project that you've had like itching in the back of your mind all the time, and you go back to it every now and then after writing another thing, and then like try and finalize this one thing. For these films, was this a project that you've always been itching to make, or was it one of those ones that you have done in amongst the big project that you've always wanted to make? And would it be a project that you would reconsider revisiting, maybe in like a feature length, or are you happy with where it is at the end of your film? That's open to everyone as well.
So yeah, Ivan, if you wouldn't mind starting us off with that one, please.
Yeah, I think I've never been asked this before, but I think it, as I've said before, I really like romantic stories, and I've never done one before. And after doing it, I would change a lot of things because you live things and your perspective changes. But yeah, I would like to see how the story continues because I don't know what I could do next, and I would like to put myself on that situation. So thank you for the question.
Okay, great. Thank you. And Mikhail?
It was the short film was a project that I carry on with me for several years because it started when it happened, that access, that moment of Venezuela happened. But then I tried to, I wanted to do it when I was in third year of the school, but it was impossible because we need an hospital, and there was the COVID in 2020. So I had to wait to try to think in my head what will happen in the story, try to develop the script. And then when the COVID thing was not that huge deal to make a film in a hospital, I get with the final project of the college. So it was perfect to present that idea and try to make the film. And if I revisit this idea for a feature film, not for my first feature film, but maybe I originally it was 3 stories during the blackout, and I wanted to talk about the 3 kind of different emotions and situation of different people, ages, and try to compel more whole spectrum of the people there. But I try. When I was doing the short film, I make the decision to choose only one, and I kept with this story for the short film. But maybe if I do a feature film, I could use these three stories, or maybe doing a series with these three stories in 3 chapters. That's something that maybe in the future, maybe, who knows.
Amazing. Nandi, would you be able to give your answer?
Yeah, I just thought about it. I think I never had a project I really wanted to do like for years. I think they all might just come and then they go. But I wanted to do something about justice. So I picked that up. I think I had different ideas. And at the beginning, I actually thought it would be a feature film, because the whole idea in the beginning was that we really jump perspective. So we start with the Casimir, the pedophile person, and we fall in love with his romance for his girl, and then we jump to her. So we have more sympathy with him, and I wanted to do a long film where we jump perspectives in the film. But yeah, I think actually after now I did the film, I don't want to do a feature about it, but I'm also working on my feature now, and it's a different topic. But I still like the film, and maybe one day I will go back to it, because I think there's still a lot to explore about the topic in general.
That's amazing. And Ava?
Yeah, and for me it was not planned. It was for my second year, and the whole year I was working on something else, but I couldn't do it. And this one, it was like just 2 weeks before the time of shooting. I wrote it, but then it was the long process. Like a lot of the script happened in the editing. But after making this film, now I'm getting more and more ideas about this topic, and I'm in the process of writing the full feature script from it. And also this film also somehow had influence on my life, and it's because it's about searching for love. And at the exam of this film, I found my love, so it was super cute.
That is lovely. Are there any more questions from the audience today? Okay. So.
Okay, if not, I guess that's the end of the Q&A. Thank you all so much for giving your time to be here. Can we give them all a round of applause?
Thank you also for allowing your films into our wonderful festival, and of course audience award, and keep voting, everyone. Yes, thank you so much, and thank you for taking time.
Yes, so just to remind everyone, the website and all the films will be available for everyone to watch until Friday, and that's when voting for the Audience Choice Awards will close. So please make sure you keep going online, watching all the films from the festival, voting for your favorites. You can vote for as many films as you like. If you like the film, give it a thumbs up. If not, just move on to the next one. Keep watching the films, they're all amazing. And our award ceremony is on Friday night at Scale. Everyone's invited. You can get tickets on the LJMU Short Film Festival website, and it will be streamlined live on our social media pages. But we hope to see you all there. Thank you all so much for coming and attending tonight. We've had a great night. And again, thank you so much for the filmmakers for giving your time to answer our questions.
Thank you very much for having us on our films, and it was very nice to meet you all.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.